What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel and our first official episode of Tech Talk. So, give you guys a bit of background. We always get queries pertaining to questions that are asked about the work we do. So it made sense for us to start a separate series called Tech Talk. So in this type of a series, I'm going to be going through a lot of your guys' questions and also some of the technical stuff that we face when we build cars, and also tips for you guys at home that are building your own cars. So to celebrate Tech Talk, I'm a car guy, but I'm also a wheel guy. I thought I'd share some of my wheels in my collection. And also go through the differences between a split wheel, an OEM wheel, and obviously the replica wheels that are available on the market, and educate you guys, because I'm sure some of you guys are wondering what's a split wheel, what's the difference, is a rep wheel good, is a rep wheel not good? So there's a lot of unanswered questions, and hopefully at the end of this episode you guys would have learned something. And I welcome you guys to please comment down below with your suggestions on what you'd like to see on future episodes, because ultimately this channel is for you guys, and once again we want to share our passion and our knowledge with you guys and hopefully learn from you guys as well. So stay tuned, I'm going to show you guys some of my wheels. Before we get into the technical aspects of wheels, and also before we go into some of my favorite wheels out of my collection, I want to say that I started off many years ago with wheels. Normally when you grow up in, I won't say we grew up wealthy, I won't say we grew up poor, but we grew up knowing that we could afford certain things and we could not afford certain things. And if you could afford to put a wheel on your car, at that time I could only afford replica wheels, even though I wanted original wheels and split wheels. But again, it was a matter of affordability. Now the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I started building cars at the very young age of 16. And again, building cars, wrap wheels. But I always had this goal that I would love to have a certain collection of split wheels that I would like to put on my cars. Now some of my cars do have replica wheels, like Celeb is rocking a set of auto styling chrome BBS wheels, which I think looks absolutely amazing. And some of my cars like Nkabi is rocking a 16-inch or 17-inch BBS RS original split wheel. Gamla is rocking a set of work Rezex wheels. So it took me my whole life to get to this point of being able to buy split wheels. And it wasn't a matter of me just saying, today I'm waking up, I feel like buying a wheel. It was a matter of always juggling. So you'll always notice I always say I juggle a lot. And when I juggle, I don't mean to juggle like the clowns. I mean that I'm always selling one thing to buy something else. So this wheel collection is a result of me having collected, bought and sold wheels over the years, made a little bit of profit, saved it away, and eventually getting to this point here. So if you're sitting at home now and you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I got a wrap wheel, there's nothing wrong with it, guys. I have a wrap wheel on Celeb. Celeb is the most famous E30 in Africa. It's won plenty of shows. It's won multiple, or actually it's trended a lot on music videos. And nobody's ever phoned me and said, Chup, I don't want to hire your car because it's got a wrap wheel. I'm of that people where I don't hate. There's always a debate on wrap versus split wheel. If you don't have a split wheel, your car is crap. I'm not one of those people. And Celeb is proof as to who I am in terms of the wheel game. So with that being said, I always say, you do what makes you happy. Don't worry about what people are going to say. If you put a wrap wheel on your car, and trust me, I've seen guys with split wheels OEM wheels that look crap on their car, and here you come rocked up with a bag E30 or a bag car, and you got your wrap wheel and your car looks better than their car. So it's not about what you have, it's about how well you do it. Always remember that, guys. So again, we get it a lot in this industry, unfortunately. There's a lot of issues when it comes to split wheels and wrap wheels. Guys, you do what makes you happy and don't worry about the next person. So, with that being said, now that we've cleared that up, let me take you guys through my collection, and I'm hopefully going to show you guys the differences in some of the wheels. Now, growing up, my ultimate favorite wheel is a BBS RS. And I'm grateful to say that I have 4 sets RSs in my collection. I've got 3 sets of 16 inches. I've got 1 set of 15 inch. The 3 16 inches, the 1 set of the 16 inches were used on Nkabi, stepped to 17 inch. Now, whenever I buy my split wheels, I always buy with the intention of me going to build a car that I would like to own one day. So for example, I always wanted a 2002. I always wanted a BBS RS on the 2002. So the 15-inch set is going to be allocated to my 2002 when I do eventually build it. Then I've got the 2 16-inch sets. I'm actually keeping them purely because I don't have a car to put them on as yet. But when I do find the car to put it on, I will put the car. Now, one thing that I do love a lot about original wheels is their markings. So for example, if you have a look at the BBS RS, on the wheel it's stamped BBS Germany. And it's also got the serial number and the model number of the wheel. So for example, this wheel is a BBS RS and the code of this particular wheel is 137. Now you get different variations of code, which is the different internal setup of the wheel as well as offset of the wheel. Now I want to teach you guys something that a lot of you guys possibly did not know. So whenever you're dealing with wheels, either with a wrap wheel or you're dealing with an original wheel, I'm going to teach you guys something pertaining to wheels and how to check what your offset and how many J, etc, etc. So with the BBS wheels, you'll find that you'll see, if you look here, it's written 7J. Now your J is how broad your wheel is, right? So if you get a 10J, you're going to get a broader wheel. If you're going to get a 9J, you're going to get a lesser broader wheel, etc, etc. So this RS 137 is a 7J. It will say 7J times 16, meaning that it's a 16 inch, right? And then it will have an ET. Now your ET is your offset. Your offset is basically how far in or how far out the wheel will sit on the car. So it's important to understand that whenever you are purchasing a wheel for your car, it's not just about putting the wheel on your car and buying any wheel. You gotta match the offset of the wheel to the offset of your car. Now, if you have a positive or a negative offset, you'll find that the wheel will either sit in or it will sit out. And that is your offset of your wheel. Now, I'll give you an example. If you're going to put a wheel on an E30 offset is a 20 offset. So it's important for you to buy a wheel that is a 20 offset so that it fits straight on your car. You don't have to run spaces or anything. If, let's say, for argument's sake, you're bagging the car and you need to get some clearance, even though your wheel is a 20 offset, your car is a 20 offset, you might find that you'll have to put a spacer to clear the bag. So again, fitting a wheel on a car is just not taking the wheel and slapping it on. There's a lot of calculations and mathematics that go behind the scenes that you don't know about, but hopefully after this video, you guys will be educated on it. So that's your ET, which is your offset. Now on this BBS wheel, the ET is 45. So that means the wheel has got a 45 offset. So now I know if I want to build a wheel or if I want to get hardware for the wheel, I need to get hardware pertaining to my car's offset so that I can make the 45 offset work on the 20 offset. I'm just using an E30 as an example. Now, something that I want you guys to take into consideration as well when dealing with wheels, right? So sometimes you will tend to find if you put an aftermarket wheel on the car, the circumference here is known as your center bore of your wheel. So your center bore of your wheel will be different to the center bore on your car. So different cars have different center bores. So you'll find that when you're putting a wheel on your car, your center bore of the wheel might be bigger as compared to the center bore of your car. Now that problem is solved by putting a spigot ring. The reason why we put a spigot ring is because it basically converts the wheel to the car or the car to the wheel, vice versa, and it eliminates the vibration when you're driving. Even though your wheels can be balanced, you still will get the vibration. Now, what is a split wheel? So a split wheel is a wheel that can basically split. So for example, this is a BBS RS. I can take the dishes, the lips, and the faces off just by untying this, and I can decide whether I want to change the offset of my wheel by either putting a bit of a bigger barrel or putting a bigger lip. And that is why split wheels are so expensive. You get 2-piece split, you get 3-piece split, because it allows you to buy hardware and change the wheel according to your car's specifications and according to your needs. Now with a wheel as well is original wheels, you'll find that they're much lighter, and the material used to manufacture is much stronger. So the probability of you hitting a pothole and your wheel cracking in half is highly unlikely, purely because of the material that has been used. Now, I'm actually enjoying talking about this because I'm sure a lot of people don't know about split wheels intents. And again, this episode is to educate you guys. And also, hopefully when you guys put wheels on your car, you make the right decisions. Now, my favorite wheel, my ultimate wheel, is a BBS RS. That's why I've got 4 in my collection. Now I want to show you guys my second favorite wheel, which is the Autostrada Moderna. I've got 2 sets. The reason why I have 2 sets is because I love the wheel, number 1. And I've always wanted to put this wheel on an E30 and build it for an E30. This is also a very big JDM wheel. A lot of the JDM cars have this wheel. It's my second favorite wheel of all time. So again, it's one of those things. This set I actually bought from. This is actually my old set, guys. I recently bought this set here. I sold it to someone 3 or 4 years ago, and the gentleman was kind enough to sell it back to me for the same price I paid, or I sold it to him for. And that's one thing I respect about someone like that, is that they understand that I sold it to them at the good price. They sold it back to me at the good price, at the fair price. The right thing for me to do, if ever I don't use this wheel and I want to sell it, I'm going to offer him first, and I'm going to sell it to him at the same price he sold the wheel to me. And that's how we're going to keep our bond. And I actually respect that gentleman a hell of a lot. So Ozzy, if you're watching, brah, you're a legend. Thank you so much. When you did that, you actually gave me hope for the car scene. So I thank you for that a hell of a lot, brother. And definitely when I am going to sell this wheel, or if I ever sell the wheel, you're getting first option, and I'm going to sell it to you for the same price you sold it to me for. And we can keep this wheel sort of in the friendship circle. So this is my old wheel, my first Autostrada I had. I actually sold a few of my wheels to put money in the current shop, because again, buying and owning split wheels is an investment. There's always a buyer for it. You won't lose money on the wheel. In fact, you'll make money on the wheel. So that's why I also try to diversify by keeping a few split wheels, so that if ever I need to sell and I need to push the money elsewhere, like in the business, then it's a matter of posting the wheel, making a few phone calls, and the wheels will be sold. So wheels are also a very good investment. You don't have to have it on your car. As long as you store it correctly, your money is quite safe. Now let me show you guys something. So this is how you open the wheel. So the nice thing about the Modena wheel is that you can put the Ferrari caps on, because it is essentially a Ferrari wheel. So you get different Ferrari caps like you can see here in the pictures. So this is the first aspect of the wheel, or the pin for the cap is made to make your life easy, so you can remove the center plate, etc. Now, funny story, I actually changed this wheel's PCD because I was going to put this wheel on Celeb, and at the time I didn't have the money to build the wheel, so it would have costed quite a bit. So I decided to sell it, and also I sold it because I wanted to put money in this business. So the PCD has been changed to 4100. So I am possibly going to put it on a 4100 car, which is, I don't know which car yet, but we'll see which car we're going to put it on. But for now, having the wheel is the big thing. So second favorite all-time wheel. Like I mentioned to you guys, I really love this wheel. I've got a second set. I actually have a car in mind that I don't own as yet. But I promise you, if I am to do it, you guys will be the first to know. So once again, this is a split wheel. Now, a lot of split wheels, you can find the specs in different areas of the wheel. On the BBSs, they mostly when you open the cap. But like on a wheel like this here, you'll see that this is the original sticker of the wheel. It's in Japanese because the wheel is manufactured in Japan. So you'll see it says it's a 17-inch by 8.5 J, right? And the offset is a 30 offset, and your PCD varies on different cars. So most of your split wheels come in a 114 configuration. You can change the PCD. So for example, 5114 is a lot of the Jap cars. 5120 is BMW, 5112 is Mercedes-Benz and Bentley and a few other cars. And you get 4100, 4108, 4114. So that is a PCD of your car. So you have two options. You can either choose to change the PCD of your wheel, or you can choose to change the PCD of your car by drilling the hubs. However, so that's the other option, or alternatively, you can run adapters. I'm not a fan of running adapters because if you run an adapter, the smallest, safest size you can go on an adapter is 20 millimeters. If you go anything smaller, it's not safe. So a 20 mm adapter, but you must remember that you're changing your car's offset by 20 mm, which means it's going to pull your wheel out. So you might have clearance issues. So I'm always a fan of getting the right wheel for the car. Or if you buy the wheel, the wheel must be able to adapt to the PCD of the car you want to put on. So that's how you check for your PCD. That's how you check for the J's, etc. And once again, it's a very light wheel. I wish you guys were here to actually feel the wheel, but it's a very light wheel. Now I'm going to take you through another wheel that I absolutely love. This is a VS MX work wheel. I'm a fan of work wheels. Work actually has a very nice variety of wheels. And this is my third set that I've owned of this particular wheel. The last set I sold was to my Hash, and we put it on his IS. The reason why I sold it is because I didn't have a car to really put it on. This wheel I bought, it's an 18-inch VS MX. And the reason why I bought it is because my intention was to step the wheel and put it on one of the 850s. But you guys know, I want to sell one of the 850s because I'm thinking of diversifying a bit. So I don't think I am going to put this wheel on any of my other cars. I only envisioned it on the 850. So I think out of my collection, I would definitely sell this wheel. So if you guys are interested in buying this MX, you guys can hit me up and we can maybe do some business. Now the nice thing about this wheel is called a Virgin set. Virgin set because it's got the original factory chrome high polishing. This wheel was locked away and stored, so you can see the oxidation on the wheel. It's showing signs that the wheel was kept in a place where there was a lot of moisture. and this wheel was never refurbished. Now, having a virgin wheel does add value. You do tend to get more because when you refurbish a wheel, you're cutting into the materials and that affects the wheel's lifespan. So a wheel like this would generally sell a lot more than a wheel that has been refurbished multiple times. So that's something I taught you guys as well. So this is known as a virgin set. It's a very narrow set actually, if I'm not mistaken. The specs are not here, the sticker fell off. Here's the specs. Okay, so this is a 18-inch by 7.5J. It's a 114 multi-PCD, and the offset is plus 31, so it's got a positive offset. So this is the type of wheel that could definitely fit on BMWs. You could also fit it on a Mercedes-Benz because to change from 114 to 112 won't be that difficult. Very nice old school wheel. But once again, I really don't have a car I want to put it on now. So I like it, I bought it, I'll sell it to buy a wheel for the next car. And then I want to talk to you guys about the Alpinas. This is a very, very close spec replica to the original wheel. Like there's certain aspects you look for, like if you open up the cap, the original wheel will have the Alpina markings here, this does not. But I can show you that the cap design, it's got the rubber, it's got the badges, it's got the sealing rubber, it's got the pin for the key. So this is the closest replica set you can get to the original. And that's why I bought it, because the original wheels are fetching ridiculous prices. And for me, I'll buy a wheel if it's a fair price for me and the seller. But I won't go and spend stupid money on a wheel that still needs to be refurbished and it's buckled, etc. So for me, it made sense to buy this wheel and keep it. I do have a car that I am going to put it on. I've got an E21. So I definitely am going to be putting this wheel on my E21 next year, hopefully when we get an opportunity to build. So this is a replica wheel that I have in my collection as well. Then, if you guys don't know, I'm a car guy. I love old school cars. We call Chicanos. I love lowriders. This wheel, I kept one side for my Chevy Impala. It's a 15-inch wire wheel, and normally on the Impalas you put the 14-inch wire wheels with the white wall tires, but I wanted a little bit of a bigger wheel, so this is a 15-inch set. And this is a knockoff of a Dayton wheel. So the Dayton is a manufacturing company that manufactures these wire wheels, but the Dayton wheel is like super expensive. I got to sell a few of my body parts to afford it. So for me, why I chose the knockoff wheels is because it's very close to the original in terms of the quality used to manufacture, the finish, etc. And also the materials used. So it's not the type of wrap wheel where you're going to hit a pothole and it gets damaged. And I want to show you guys something as well that I don't think you know. These wheels are directional. So two go on the right hand side, and the other two goes on the left hand side, and that is how you tighten the wheels. It works with an adapter. You guys can see the adapter here in the picture. So you basically bolt the adapter onto the car, and then you slot the wheel on, and then you lock it with the hammer, obviously, that comes with the wheels. So 15-inch set, I've got a 17-inch set as well. I've actually had 3 sets that I stashed away, and the 17-inch set is going on a car that I've actually wanted to put it on, but I never have a reason to. And this car we're building for Gravity, so it's gonna look absolutely mental. I can't wait for it. So these are some of my wheels that I have not yet fitted on cars. You guys know I have a lot of other wheels on my cars. We won't go into that now, but it's the kind of wheels that I have future plans with, and hopefully if I do find cars to put it on, I'll put it on and build. So yeah, so now I want to show you guys a replica wheel. So like I mentioned to you, this is a replica wheel. You can see the material that's used here. And I mentioned earlier that the specs of the wheels sometimes will be at the back of the wheels. So automatically you can feel your component quality is different. I'm not saying it's a bad wheel, but the split wheel is totally different. The finish, even when you polish a split wheel, the finish on a polished split wheel versus the finish on a polished wrap wheel is day and night difference, but it still looks good, so don't stress, right? So this is an example of a replica wheel. It's made by, or it's a replica of the raised folk wheel. So it's not an original wheel, it is a replica wheel, but for those of you that are watching sitting at home, you can't really tell the difference unless you actually go and inspect the wheel. Where you will see the difference is your split wheel. There is a gap here and the studs are holding the back of the wheel, or the face is holding onto the barrel and the lip. So that is how you tell that it's a split wheel or a replica wheel. But once again, I got a set of replica 16-inch Alpinas. I got knockoff Dayton wheels. I've got a BBS on Celeb, and Celeb looks good. So I'm happy. And again, it's what you do with your pocket that counts. Nobody can judge you based on the wheel you have on your car. That is old stories that we're not going to entertain. And hopefully you guys learn something with this. I enjoy sharing my passion. So once again, just to recap, offset, PCD, how many J, wrap wheel, split wheel, differences, and also why wrap wheels or why split wheels tend to cost more than a replica wheel. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. I enjoy talking to you guys. I enjoy spending time with you guys. And I advise you guys to please come and visit the shop. We love it when we get people coming to the shop and say, hey, we watch you on YouTube. And I love enjoying meeting the people outdoors, always stopping and saying, hey, I seen you on YouTube. That makes us feel good. The positive comments, the encouragement, and also the guys that are commenting. You guys are legends. You guys are champions. And I want to thank you guys so much for helping us grow this channel. It really means a lot to me. And you guys must stay safe. And remember, it's not how much you spend. You can spend minimal and you'll still make your car look better than guys that spend millions on their cars. Do what makes you happy. Remember that, guys. I'll catch you guys on the next episode.